us, we got to learn how to do like Paul done. He just shook it off. And so here in Psalms chapter 41, amen, and Psalms chapter 55, amen, we see that David is sharing with us how he feels when the person he has trusted, amen, and amen, with his life and has shared his heart with and has shared his meals with has betrayed him. He says, even my close friend, someone I trusted, someone that sat at my table and ate my food and shared my bread, has turned against me. He says, amen, he said, but Lord, be merciful unto me and heal me of the hurt. In other words, amen, they have hurt me. The people that are close to me, that I sit down and eat bread with, amen, they have hurt me. And he says, Lord, I need you to heal me of the hurt of those that have spoken evil about me. Those that I trusted with issues of my life who are now going abroad and telling others about my life. But then he says in verse 11, but because you favored me, my enemy cannot triumph over me. Because I know that I'm your favorite, Lord. Therefore, my enemy, whatever they say, sticks and stones might break. But their words won't kill me. But they are hurting me, Lord. And he says, all that hate me have gathered together against me, saying things about me that they know will hurt me, to the point that it might even kill me. He says, Lord, help me. Lord, help me with the hurt that's killing me. What do you do when people that are close to you is out to hurt you? What do you do with the people that are sitting next to you or that eat bread with you or hang out with you, amen, are now out to hurt you? What do you do when the people that are close to you who were once with you are now or is now against you? What is the remedy from the hurt of those that are close to you? It's one thing for somebody to hurt me that I don't know, because then I really don't care because they don't know me. But when it's somebody you know, somebody that you've shared with, somebody that you've cried with, what is the remedy? What's the antidote for the hurt of those that are close to you? What can you do to help you when there's nobody else around you that can help you from the snake bites that is now killing you slowly? What can you do to heal you from the hurt that's slowly killing you? We're going to do what the Apostle Paul did. The Bible said he shook it off. And I want you to know that the remedy to heal you from the hurt that is killing you, amen, from the snake bites that have been biting you, is to do what Paul do. Look at somebody and say, just shake it off. Just shake it off. I know it hurts. Have you ever, if anybody has ever played sports and in the midst of playing sports somewhere along the way, you got hurt while you were in the process of playing the game, amen. And so, but you didn't want to get out of the game, but if you let the coach know that you were too hurt, he might take you out. But yet, if you really wanted to stay in, somebody would say to you, man, girl, shake it off. I know you're hurting, but shake it off. You can't leave the game. You can't walk away from the game. You can't leave the game. You need to stay in the game. Just shake it off. Sometimes you got to just shake life off that's got a hold on you, that's jaws in you. Sometimes you got to just shake it off and keep on going. Paul is showing us that you might get bit. People might talk about you. They might forsake you and forget you. But there comes a time when you got to learn how to just shake it off. Shake it off. What does it mean to shake it off? Shaking it off simply means getting something that is on you or something that is in you off of you and out of your mind. Get it out and off of your heart. Get it out and off of your spirit, and get it off and out of your life. Shake it off. Shaking it off simply means forgetting about something or someone. Shake them off. It means to let go of something or someone. Shake it off. It means to get over something in order to be able to move on towards something else. Shake it off. It simply means getting rid of something that is unpleasant, something that is undesirable, something that is unwanted, that has latched onto your life. You have to learn how to shake them off. There are people that have latched onto your life. Amen. They got their fangs in you that are slowly poisoning you. But you got to learn how to shake them off. One of the things that we see here in Acts is that when Paul went to pick up a pile of sticks, he didn't know that he was picking up a snake that was hiding in the pile. When you go to pick up certain friends, you never realize that the friend that you might have been picking up, the friend that you might have been bringing close to you, amen, was hiding in the pile, waiting for the opportunity to just bite you. He didn't know that he was picking up a snake that was hiding in the pile. He just thought he was picking up sticks to help keep everybody else warm. Because if he knew that there was a snake hiding in the pile, he would have never picked them up. If you would have known that they were a snake, you would have never drawn them close. If you would have knew they were a snake, you would have never picked them up. If you would have known. But there are some snakes that are hiding in the pile. There's a story told throughout the Cherokee Nation to every young boy at the age of 12 as they are about to enter into their passage of manhood. This story is told to every young boy because it is a reminder of something that they need to be constantly, amen, reminded about. And the story is about, amen, a little boy walking down a path. And the little boy runs into a rattlesnake. And the rattlesnake pleads with the little boy and says, listen, I'm tired and I'm getting old. Will you please take me to the mountaintop? I'm getting old and I'm tired, the snake said. And all I want to do is see the sunset one last time before I die. Will you please take me to the mountaintop? And the little boy says to the snake, he said, Mr. Snake, I can't pick you up because if I pick you up, you'll bite me and I'll die. The rattlesnake said, I promise you, I will not bite you. Please, just take me to the mountaintop so that I can see the sunset one last time before I die. That's all I want to do. I want to see the sunset for the last time. The little boy thought about it. So therefore he made a decision to pick up the snake in order to take him to the mountaintop to see the sunset. And as they made their way to the top of the mountain, and as they sat there together gazing and watching the sunset together, it was a beautiful sight, a magical moment. As tears ran down the snake's face, he turns to the little boy and says, thank you. Thank you so much. You just don't know how much this means to me. And when the sun had gone down, the snake turned and said to the little boy, will you please take me home now? Because I'm old and I'm tired. And the little boy said, yeah, I'll do it, but let's just rest here until the morning. And there they slept all night together, the snake and the little boy on the mountaintop, after experiencing a magical moment of a great sunset. And the next morning, the little boy wakes up and he picks up the snake in order to head back down the mountain to take the snake home. Halfway home, while everything was seemingly going well, the snake bites the little boy. And the little boy cried out in agony and said, Mr. Snake, why would you do that? After I took you to a level in your life that you've never been. Why would you bite me, Mr. Snake, after I took you to a height that you couldn't make it to on your own? Why would you do that, Mr. Snake, after we shared precious memories together? Why would you do that knowing that, amen, that what you just did was going to hurt me and potentially kill me? Why would you do that, Mr. Snake? And the snake slyly responded to the little boy. You knew what I was when you picked me up. You knew what I was when you picked me up. The Cherokee Indians tells the little boys this story so that they can memorize it as they grow up into life. And the moral of it is that you cannot trust a snake. I don't care how tired or how hurt the snake is, or how old a snake is a snake. And if a snake gets close enough to you, it will bite you. And even though I feel bad for the little boy, I am perplexed as to what to prescribe as an antidote to those that have been bitten, because you never knew that it was a snake that you were dealing with. But what do you do when the snake that has bitten you is the snake that you picked up? What do you do when the snake that is killing you is the snake that you picked up, that has now bit you with its venomous poison? What do you do when you pick up your own snake? Because I want you to know that every snake that has ever bitten you, amen, bit you because you brought that snake too close to you. Whether you knew it was a snake or not, you picked it up. You let it in. You let it hang out. And now you're surprised and perplexed because the snake bit you. How were you to know that there were how were you to be able to identify a snake when there's over 2,800 different types of species in the world that is identified as a snake? But what about the snakes that have not been identified? The snakes that don't look like a snake, don't dress like a snake, don't talk like a snake. 2,800 snakes have been identified, but there's still snakes that have not been identified, but yet they are snakes. What do you do when you can't identify your snake? To make this more understandable for you, I'm not talking about anacondas. I'm not talking about cobras. I'm not talking about pythons. I'm not talking about rattlesnakes. I'm talking about the kind of snake that befriends you and then turns around and bites you. I'm talking about the kind of snake that pretends to love you when in actuality they really don't even like you. I'm talking about the kind of snake that will ask you for help when they're in need, but won't help you when you need them. I'm talking about the kind of snake that will hug you when they come, amen, when they come into the church, but will talk about you and slander your name on the way home from church. I'm talking about the kind of snake that will tell you that I'm with you, but will turn others against you. I'm talking about the kind of snake that will help lift you up and encourage you when you're down until you find out that they're the ones that's been knocking you down. I'm talking about the kind of snake that will tell you I got your back, but you didn't know that they had it with a knife in it. I'm talking about the kind of snake that will counsel you and comfort you and console you and then turn around and use what they know about you to discredit you. I'm not talking about snakes that live in the woods. I'm talking about the snakes that live in your neighborhood, the snakes that call you up, the snakes that you have befriended. I'm talking about snakes, vipers.